Dana, an employee under the IT department, together with the other employees, have concerns and issues regarding their salary and thus wanted to have it increased. She and her workmates are already working for the company for a long time. However, they are not given any raise. She told her boss with this concern. The boss then came up with the solution of creating a freeway employee welfare channel in which they can set appointments to their boss to raise their concerns directly. In this way, the company can discourage employees to form a labor union.
This is not good. I have been in the company for almost 5 years and I still don't have any raise. Enough with the silence. I'm gonna talk with my boss. Hi ma'am, good morning. Do you have any second? I wanted to talk to you about something.
Come in. What's that all about?
You know, ma'am, that we've been in the company for a long time, and on behalf of my other workmates, I wanted to raise a concern about our wage. We are hoping for an increase in our salary, and this will be something that we would very much appreciate. And I talked to you about this because we also have plans of forming a labor union.
What? A union? Dana, there's no need to form a union. Actually, this is good that you talked to me about this concern. I'm thinking, what if we'll have our freeway employee welfare channel? Something like this. You can set appointments under my secretary for a specific day and you can directly tell me your concerns. This will give us an open communications ambience here in the company for the purpose of catering your concerns. Forming a union is a very complicated. You must be committed and such, and that is a hassle for you. So, I hope this company initiative will be enough for you to disregard your plans. What do you think about that?
Okay, ma'am. I hope that would be implemented soon and that will effectively respond to our concerns.
Don't worry. I'll talk about this with the board and I'll make an announcement afterwards. Now, back to work.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
In this scenario, the employer was trying to restrain her employee into forming or joining a union by presenting an alternative solution of giving the employees a free way of raising their concerns directly to her. The boss is also trying to persuade the employee that forming a union is a complicated responsibility and a hassle. This is an example of an unfair labor practice of employers. As stated in Article 259, it shall be unlawful for an employer to interfere with, restrain, or coerce employees in the exercise of their right to self-organization. Meanwhile, the employer's unfair labor practice when it comes to the labor union does not only happen within one department. It also goes to others, as individuals have similar complaints when it comes to the benefits that they deserve. But the action and solution remain the same: to discourage individuals from joining the union. Now we will hear another scenario focusing on goods receiving department within the company.
Wow, it has been a year already since I started to work in this firm. I can imagine how hard I have been through just to get employed and work here in my dream company. Wait, why am I talking to myself? Since I'm done with my work, maybe I just check my other employees' condition. Oh Carlos, what happened to you? Why is it that I can see a bandage wrap in your legs? Are you alright?
Oh, this? I tripped over in the cement yesterday as I carried a huge load of goods. The transport machine broke and it's getting repaired. That is why we go to another resort and carry it with our bare hands. However, as I took the box filled with heavy cans, I accidentally tripped and fell over. Luckily, it wasn't severe enough.
I'm so sorry to hear that. That must have hurt a lot. Anyways, what did you do after?
Right after I slipped, I immediately go to the hospital since we have no facility to cater to my situation. Well, luckily, my other colleagues were fast enough to respond and know how to apply a first aid, which helps not to worsen my condition.
That is great, but who did pay your bills?
That is basically my problem. When I call our human resource manager and ask if they could help find a way to pay my bills, they just respond that the company does not cover any act of negligence. I even insisted that it's just an accident and it was unintentional. They didn't even hear my concern.
That is absurd. The company must cater to your situation because the accident happened within the area, and it is their duty to take care of their employee. What's even worse is that they even not give us the benefits that we deserve, like being part of PhilHealth and any other. That is why it is really needed to build a labor union to hear our voices, and our concerns should be given attention.
Meanwhile, after hearing out about the employees' plan in organizing and pushing a labor union within the company, the owner took the response to the worker bee's situation and made a meeting within the department.
So, I have heard the news that Carlos had an accident, and I'm so sorry to hear that. Don't worry, I will reimburse all the payments during your treatment. And one thing, I will order a snack for everyone to enjoy since you are all hardworking enough.
But mom, what if we happen to have an accident again? Would it be possible that we could get the benefit that we deserve, like being part of PhilHealth for instance? Thus, having a labor union would help us direct our concerns.
Oh, there's no need for that. If this accident happens again, we will just pay it. There is no need for you to be part of PhilHealth and perhaps the union because I got you covered.
Here, one can see that the employer exercises an unfair labor practice wherein she deprives her employees of getting the benefits that they deserve. After hearing out that the employee would build a union, she immediately responded and convinced the workers that it is unnecessary and gave them a snack as compensation and to ease the mind of the workers. This situation is also an example of the unfair labor practice of employers. As stated in Article 259 of the Labor Relations Law, it shall be unlawful for an employer to commit into unfair labor practices, such as to initiate, dominate, assist, or otherwise interfere with the formation or administration of any labor organization, including the giving of financial or other support to its organizers. In the case above, the employer interfered the formation of labor union and changed the mindset of the employees. Carly, despite having been assigned under the financial operations of the company and is working overtime, she receives no pay despite the efforts being placed, which is a growing concern for the employees in the workplace. In turn, they are planning to build a labor union to compensate for all their overtime work. This action, however, does not sit well with the boss of the company and is threatening them accordingly if they would otherwise join said union. The employees who will join the union will be transferred to another place, assigning employees more difficult work tasks or will be terminated.
Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Oh, it's 12 a.m. already? Ugh. Okay, I've prepared for this. I'm gonna give Miss Aton my presentation. Lord, please give me strength.
Do you have what I asked for?
Yes, ma'am. I have it right here. I will be sending it to you via email.
Okay, I receive it.
So regarding about the presentation I made, by the way, I would like to remind you again that I've been staying up late in the office and I spent a lot of time on making the company presentation for this past week. I was thinking about when we would discuss about my overtime pay and compensation. The sudden request might seem unexpected, but it's justifiable considering the amount of time I placed. You see, this additional input for working hours is all for my plans I have for the weekends with my family and...
Let me stop you right there. I never did recall agreeing with you that you would be working overtime and that you'd only be paid according to the number of hours you inputted for the day exclusively. Your job as my employee, however, is just to do what I tell you to do and would have no trouble working out your pay. I don't pay you to lounge around at the office unattended, and I don't pay you to talk. So could you please get back to work and fix this presentation? You have until tomorrow to improve your work. Do you understand?
I did recall that I've been prompting you for the past week that I'd be working overtime so there wouldn't be any misunderstanding between us. Please reconsider my offer about the overtime pay.
And I want you to reconsider your actions because I do not pay my employees for doing unnecessary work, especially in making poor presentations like this, which is why I'm telling you right now to complete this by tomorrow.
But this kind of treatment from me just humbly asking for compensation for the extra work is a bit too much. Some might even say it's unfair at best.
Don't you think that you're asking too much for just one employee? If you ask me, I can get another employee who'd work for the same amount of wage and they'd happily do the work already. You're pushing your luck.
I really do hope that you would change your mind on this, ma'am. Because me and my fellow co-workers have been thinking of forming a labor union in this company. And that we're expecting so much change around this place to have our demands answered.
Where is all this rushed behavior coming from? Keep this up and I would have to reprimand you for this misconduct within the workplace. Personally, if I have to. Be careful on who you're dealing with here. In the position that I am in right now, I can get you fired.
In the case stated above, the act of threatening employees with loss of jobs or benefits if they join or vote for a union or engage in protected concerted activity is illegal and a violation of the law. The National Labor Relations Act forbids employers from interfering with, restraining, or coercing employees in the exercise of rights relating to organizing, forming, joining, or assisting a labor organization for collective bargaining purposes, or from working together to improve terms and conditions of employment, and is found in Article 259 of the Labor Relations Law.
After that incident, Carly was frustrated and is more eager to form a labor union. Thus, she came up with the plan of meeting all of the company's employees who had the same concerns with her and those who wanted to make a labor union.
Okay, this is enough. We badly need to make her agree that we should form a labor union. This is really unjust. If we wanted to be heard, we need to be united so that we'll have the power to make her listen to us. I already talked to her, but she threatened me if I would form or join a union.
I also talked to her the last few months. I was trying to raise a concern about our wage, and she told us to have this freeway employee welfare channel. And yes, we were able to get to her our concerns, but there's no improvement. It doesn't change anything. She always has this line, "Don't worry and just wait. We'll get to your concern once the company will decide on it." And that's it.
My other workmate got injured and because of this, we asked for medical benefits. But guess what? The boss just bribed us with money and food to compensate. She always made us believe that we are family and used this to divert our attention. She even said that there's no need for a union because she got us covered.
After hearing everyone's statement, they are now more convinced in forming a labor union. They raised their concerns to their boss once again, thinking that she'll agree, since many employees are requesting a union. In the end, she got angry and declined to sign the offer. The three scenarios discussed are part of unfair labor practices. The boss found ways to prevent and discourage her employees from forming a labor union. Analyzing the situations more and looking into its roots, the best way to discourage the employees in forming a labor union is to treat them right from the very beginning and give them all the needed things so that they will be contented, satisfied, and happy working in the company.